What's up, guys? All right, so let's talk about dopamine. Now, I want to tell you something. You can't buy happiness on Amazon. You can't do it. You can't figure out how to live the perfect life by watching Instagram. We all know this, right? You're not going to watch this YouTube video and it just completely change your life. The things that we're doing, that we're consuming, it's not healthy. I'm just being drawn more and more, and I'm afraid I'm becoming a crotchety old man. I just don't think we need all this stuff anymore. I did this experiment. So a couple weeks ago, I deleted my social media apps. Lent's coming up in a few weeks, and that's usually what I do for Lent, but anyway. But 2 weeks ago, deleted social media, and I went like hardcore, no YouTube, no Netflix for like a week or two of those either. I just kind of read books, and really my internet usage was minimal. Now I did like read books on my Kindle, on my phone. Even though I also reread a book that I had, it was paperback, and read some other books that I had at home. But so I still use some technology, but I was really just trying to whittle it down just for a couple weeks, because I felt like, and I know you know this, like, because we just had this stupid election and all this crap, and it's like you've got all these voices in your head. You know what I mean? Everybody telling you what to think, what to do. And it's so easy to get emotional, and whether it's with loving something or being happy about something, or like just being angry and hateful and resentful and thinking that everybody's wrong but you. And I just kind of got sick of it all, and I just like, no news, no social media, just let me be in peace for a little while. And let me just kind of think about, what do I want to think about? And it really helped me, because like I've been writing this book, but I put it on the back burner for a long time. I'd gotten real close, and I basically finished it. And now I just have to go back, re-edit it, do some touch-up work and all that. But it helped me really focus on that stuff, getting things done that I wanted to do. And I just feel like our technology, that it was supposed to give us more time, is just sucking our time, and it's just destroying our brains. Again, most of it just because of groupthink and the psychological need to agree with people and to be a part of their group, and that kind of cult mentality. And it can be around anything, right? You can. That's what a buddy of mine were talking, about, like whether or not you're an iPhone fan, but there's also a group of people who hate iPhones. Not like they're looking at flip phones, but like they just use the other. I have an iPhone, so I don't even, the other products, the Samsungs or whatever, and it's just this need to connect with these people. But the thing is, like before we had social media, right? You had your neighbors, you had your community, and yeah, you had your social groups too. So you had your church, and most folks kind of in your church group had similar beliefs on big world pictures. But within these groups y'all had differing views. But since you lived with each other, you worked with each other, and you kind of liked each other, you accepted the other person's view for the most part. You know what I mean? And you would get along. But now we don't interact like that anymore. Instead we interact online with these mini groups. And when I say mini, I'm talking about MINI group, these mini groups. And it allows us to like double down on like some of the weirdest likes and dislikes, and to be so passionate about them that we can't even get along with other people who disagree. Like we can't come to any conclusions. Whereas like maybe in the old days you came to a compromise. But then compromise now is almost like a dirty word, because you think, people think of compromising as everybody loses, but in reality, a compromise is both sides got something they wanted out of the deal, So it was like beneficial to both sides. That was an appropriate compromise. But it feels like now, It's a no compromise mentality for people, and it's just disheartening. And I think many people see it, many people feel it, but it's difficult to express sometimes. And it's also, I mean, I get the irony, guys. I get it. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, but I think we need less technology. Less of the junk in our lives. It's time. There's a lot of shows and like blogs and podcasts on minimalism. I don't know if you or YouTube channel minimalism, and it's all about like getting rid of like junk in your house and the extra clothes you don't wear, etc. And that's great. And I think that's important because it's probably good for people, especially people with anxiety, to have clean spaces and so not having your closet overflowing with extra crap that you don't wear, you hadn't worn in a year, you're not going to ever wear it, it doesn't fit anymore. Just give it to somebody who can wear it, But we need to minimize the other aspects of our life. You know what I mean? Be like true minimalists in the fact that we only let the things in our lives that are positive and good. I mean, it's not like you can help when something bad happens, so your negative comes into your life. But what I'm saying is when you fill your life just with junk, with the social media, the people telling you what to do, it gets overwhelming. And you don't know who you are anymore. But if you can start to minimalize, and maybe it just takes like a few weeks of a fast. Do like a dopamine fast. I started this video saying I was going to talk about dopamine, didn't I? So dopamine is the chemical in your brain that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy. So when you partake in some type of entertainment, it spikes dopamine. And so social media and these apps and your phone and Netflix and all this stuff has really figured out how to get your dopamine going. But the problem is we never let our brains rest. And so it's just this constant influx of dopamine to the point where nothing really works anymore. And so society is just getting depressed and dull. And I see this with patients every day. And I don't know for a fact that it has to do with, and it doesn't even matter if you're like, oh, I don't even look at my phone that much. That's not the point. It's like the entire society has so pushed it on us that we don't realize how saturated our lives have become. And so sometimes we need to dopamine fast. We need to get rid of it. So we got Lent coming up in a few weeks. I would suggest, but I'm not telling you what to do. You do what you want. Maybe getting rid of social media and news. Fast from those things. From social media, the news, maybe even pick some days that you're not going to, and when I say days, I'm not talking like every day, I'm talking about like several days in a row where you're not going to watch YouTube, you're not going to watch Netflix, you're not going to watch Amazon, any shows or anything like that. You're just going to spend that time, that even if you get bored, you're going to spend that time maybe in prayer, maybe in reading. It doesn't even have to be the Bible, but you're going to do other things. Maybe you'll play some board games with your kids. Maybe you'll go for a run. Maybe you'll start doing your daily push-ups like you've been telling yourself forever. Maybe you'll start actually writing that book that you've been wanting to write. Maybe you'll just start a journal. I don't know. Maybe you'll volunteer at Salvation Army or at a soup kitchen, or maybe you'll go adopt a pet that's going to be put down, and you'll give that pet a home, and you'll give it a life, and you'll have some purpose again. Because what people need in their lives is purpose, but what we've given ourselves instead of purpose is entertainment. And it was fun, and it was great, and I still enjoy it, and you should too. There's nothing wrong with entertainment. But we have to see our lives for what they are. And so if your life is starting to be ripped away from purpose, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious. And you may not be like you're crying in the corner depressed. It may just be that you feel like you're unfulfilled in life, like something is missing. And if you do a fast from this stuff, it should be difficult. In other words, putting it all down, you're going to start to feel a twitch in your brain. Maybe you're like, you said you're going to do it for 14 days. At day 10, you're like, well, I've done it long enough. No, that's when you got to fight through. You got to give it the extra time. You got to make it the full 2 weeks or whatever. Now, I said Lent. Lent's longer than 2 weeks, but if you want to do 2 weeks, you want to do Lent, however you decide to do it. Like I said, I'm not telling you what to do. Do what you want. But a dopamine fast might be just what you need to change your life. So, just my thoughts, some of my rambling. Let me know if you decide to try it. Let me know how you're going to do it, what you're going to give up, what you're going to do if you're going to do it for Lent, if you're just going to do it for 2 weeks. If you're going to do it, you need to make a point to do it, though. And if you're going to say to do it, you're going to do it. Like, don't go back on it, and don't just think you're going to do it, but don't tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do it. Okay? All right, guys. Love you. Peace. Have a great day.